One of the things that I absolutely love is being a mom. And with us now is Marcy. She's going to be talking to us about Adelphi University Institute for Parenting. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
We've had some really engaging, lovely conversations about what it is that you do. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Sure. So, Donna, we know that babies are born with their brains wired to be in nurturing, protective relationships. And when they are in nurturing, protective relationships, they thrive. They have a wonderful, positive sense of self. They feel lovable, and they learn to trust. At the Institute, the children that come to us have not had nurturing, protective relationships. And their parents, for the most part, have not had nurturing and protective relationships. And so we have a center that's really devoted to changing that, to changing the trajectory of the lives of families who have experienced a great deal of adverse experiences and trauma. So we do that in a few different ways. We have an extensive professional development program where we train multidisciplinary professionals from Long Island and the surrounding region in a specialized fund of knowledge to help address the specialized needs of at-risk kids and families. And then we have a clinic at Adelphi where we have some specialized programs with the county child welfare system and the district attorney, where we focus specifically on families who have a tremendous amount of adversity.
Now, how did you realize that there was this disconnect and that there was this underserved group of people that needed this type of help? How did this start at Adelphi University?
Well, there was a group of community folks and faculty that got together about 15 years ago and with a task force focusing on what was needed and what were the gaps in Nassau and across Long Island. And one of the things that was identified was that there seemed to be very few evidence-based approaches to working with parents. We're a university, so we like evidence-based,
Yes.
research, very
Research,
well-researched approaches. And I was very fortunate. Right after this task force developed, I came to the area, and the president at the time asked me if I would take over and develop a center from this idea that this group had. And so I've been the director since it went from sort of a virtual or piece of paper to a real center. And really, we've done extensive needs assessments that have helped inform the work that we've done. We've actually launched another nonprofit out of the Institute that's also part of One Island Giving Day, the New York State Association for Infant Mental Health, which is an organization focused on the entire state and is now a nonprofit on its own. So really taking a look at what the families needed and what services were available to really focus on 0 to 5-year-olds was a big part of what we did. And we just found that there were not many people that had the fund of knowledge to do this work, and there just aren't enough people, period, to do this work. So the goal is to increase the quality and quantity of multidisciplinary professionals who can work with these families. So some of them we train to do clinical work in our center, and some of them we train in sort of the fund of knowledge through professional development training.
What has the feedback been? What has been the hopeful ahas, like the icing on the cake of good things that have been coming out of that group?
Well, I think for us, the ahas are really seeing families who completely change their lives. We've had many families in our child welfare project which is really focused on changing child welfare practice, judicial practice, and the centerpiece of it is this treatment called child parent psychotherapy. It's really an evidence-based treatment that really focuses on changing children's brains and their parents' brains. And the families that we've had in our program that have gotten the full program from us are never heard from again in the child welfare system. They go off, they're working, they're thriving, and they have very different lives than when they first came in and their children had been taken from them for abuse or neglect. So.
Well, I think that's a great statistic. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
To have you here, and wishing you all the best in your program. Stay tuned for more on Live It Up. We've been visiting with Marcy. Please check out her nonprofit, and if you'd like to make a difference, there's a website to do so.